Hi folks, this is Leighton Phillips from SFuels and welcome to our training recipe series. This is a downloadable PDF you can download from our website just by looking at that QR code with your camera on your phone and download the PDF there. Today we're going to focus on the swim sessions, and then in subsequent videos we'll do the bike and the run. I will show you at the end of this PDF or this PowerPoint here on where to download our racing recipes also. So let's jump into it. We're going to talk firstly, as I said, about the swim set. And there's three types of sets here. And really the difference between these three sets is intensity and duration. On the left-hand side is a shorter duration. Sometimes these do have some higher intensity intervals in it. The second session is your typical longer swim. And then on the right-hand side is your brick. And the characteristics of these is slightly different in the spirit of how you would use the nutrition for the right fuel at the right time to maximize aerobic adaptions or high-intensity threshold adaptions in training. So let's start on the left-hand side. This is really a shorter duration swim set, 1 to 2 kilometers, 30 minutes to an hour. For most people, certainly the muscle liver glycogen that you have on board will be more than sufficient to support these shorter duration swim sets. The focus here, though, is really on coming into the session with the right mood to embrace the session, hit it with the right amount of intensity, and also help to optimize fat oxidation in the swim set. So how do we do that with the nutrition? Well, firstly, before the set, 30 minutes to an hour is to take one of our SFuels PRIMED drinks and basically just mix that in water, drink it down, and that will give you both the caffeine and the carnitine that come into the session ready in the right mood, and also to have your fat oxidation supported. Coming into the session itself and during the session itself, you should be drinking SFuels Zone-2 to further accentuate the aerobic adaptions in the swim set. For a session like this, really the recovery, it shouldn't be too dramatic. It's fairly short, but if you are planning a second workout in the day and you're looking to ensure that your muscle glycogen is restored in an accelerated manner to ensure that you're ready for your second set in the day, using our SFuels REVIVAL post-swim, one serve in dairy, whatever your choice or preference is in dairy, and have that mixed into a shake, and you should be good to go. So let's talk about the middle set, and this is obviously a much longer set, between 2 and 6 kilometers, 2 hours or more, and certainly these longer swim sets can drain our energy stores, and it's really that kind of more fatigue state. You shouldn't feel exhausted, but you certainly will feel tired after a session like this. It's absolutely the case too, particularly when the pools are in the outdoor, that swimmers can get dehydrated in swim sets like this. So the aim here is to come into the session being energized, meaning that you're satisfied from a hunger perspective, your mood is in the right spot, and then we can support both from a energy perspective, i.e. carbohydrate, and also from a hydration perspective during the swim set. So how do we do this? Well, an hour before, you should be thinking about one of our SFuels Life Bars to help really just provide the fat and protein. It's not going to blunten your fat oxidation efficiency as you get into the training session. It's just going to make you feel satisfied. It's going to give you some energy. But then also as you get closer to the swim set, like the 30 minutes before or even the first 30 minutes of the swim set, is to take our SFuels PRIMED. And that's going to give you both the caffeine and the carnitine to really get into the right mood and really embrace the swim set. 30 minutes into the swim, so the first 30 minutes you may be having the SFuels PRIMED or you may just be having water. But after that first 30 minutes, begin to use our SFuels Zone-4. That's going to support from a glycogen and carbohydrate perspective as you get into the intervals and the higher intensities nature of an extended swim set like this. It's going to support the thresholds and the adaptions associated with the more high intensity of the swim set. Now, for a session like this, obviously post the swim set, taking in some Revival to help, and usually typically with some carbohydrate, you would have burnt a ton of of stored glycogen and fat in a swim set like this. So taking on some carbohydrate, and it's a good time period to add whole foods, whether it's proteins or complex starches and fats, post the session. And then on the right-hand side is the swim bike brick. And these are typically 1 to 2 hours in nature, and they're trying to simulate, in many cases, or emulate race day environments and intensities, ambient temperatures, etc., and also the nutrition. So typically for this, and you can download our race recipes, and it'll talk more about the night before and the race morning meals. If you really want to simulate the whole lead into a race, you can find that in our race recipes. But for this workout itself, this brick session itself, again, using SFuels Prime to come into the set with both the cognitive function set and also embracing the intensity that is typical of these brick sessions. During the swim, nothing much is water needed. Maybe water if you just want to keep hydrated, etc. If it's it's a longer set for the brick. And then when you come out of the water and onto the bike, it's really a function of what is the intensity nature of that bike session of the brick. Is it an aerobic, more zone 2, slower intensity bike set within the brick? Or is it some intervals which have certainly more threshold, higher intensity zone 4? Or is it true race simulation? And you can see here, depending upon the nature of the intensity of the bike set for the brick, you can choose between an aerobic session where you'd use our 1 serve of zone 2 per hour. If it's intervals or tempo, threshold type riding, then use our zone 4, 1 serve per hour is sufficient. Or if you're really trying to simulate race nutrition planning, you should be thinking about 2 serves of SFuels Zone 4 per hour, and that will bring you into the 60 gram per hour of carbohydrate. Now, post a session like this, similarly, you really do want to support your recovery with Revival, add a little bit of carbohydrate, typically that's in the form of fruit, and it's, again, good time to have whole foods, etc., to replenish the muscles and to get on with the day ahead. Okay, now what I said is also you can download not just this, our training recipes, that you can also download our racing recipes from this QR code. Thanks again. Please join us for also our bike training recipes and also our run racing training recipes. Thanks for joining. Talk soon. Bye.